What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another session of Coffee and Martial Arts. Salud, salud, salud. Cheers. Yes, sir. Oh my God, coffee is great this morning. And so it's our show today. Yes, sir. Today we're going to have an amazing show. Yes. So, but before we go there, let me just say that we are going live. Yes, sir. Through our Facebook page, Master Frank Soto Kinetic Dragon. Yes, sir. Just put put the name there and like the page, like the video, and follow us. Please like and share this video. That really helps us with the engines, the search engines and all that, the Facebook thing. And click on the following the page and the like and on the page. It makes a difference. Every one of you make a difference with your clicking on the button, okay? So please do that. We're also going live through the Internacional Hall of Fame of Argentina. Yes, sir. Okay, this is an amazing group of martial artists led by Master Juan Martín Álvarez from Buenos Aires. Saludos, Master. So they're doing an amazing job, and they have their own a magazine as well, Revista Internacional Hall of Fame Argentina. Okay, they go on paper. They still print it. They put it on paper and also digital down in Argentina. So if you can, check it out. Okay. We are also going live through our YouTube channel. Yes, sir. Okay. So look for us, the Kinetic Dragon channel. Okay. And like the video, subscribe, and click on the little bell so you get notified every time we go live. Okay. So please do so. That really helps. So today we have a great guest. Yes, sir. One of the most prominent senior masters of American Kenpo of all times. Yes, sir. He has done so much for the art. He has done so much for the community, and he's been at it and in it for many years. We could say, there was this teaching that Mr. Parker put on the books that said it takes 3 lifetimes to master Kenpo. I think it will take 3 lifetimes to do what Mr. Tatum has done, teaching and promoting the art for many years, and thousands and thousands of students. Okay, he has touched the life of thousands of people in a very positive way. So there we go. Aha, nice. Okay, so let's bring in the man of the hour, Grand Master Larry Tatum. Hello, sir.
Good morning or evening, wherever you're at.
Good morning, sir. Okay, so how are we doing today, sir?
We are doing very well. It's a little hot here in Prescott, Arizona, but doing great.
Okay, I'm just going to start with something that somebody sent me, sir, because I think people need to understand where you're at, okay? And this is a photo sent to us by Maestro Damien Abbott, right?
Yes, I remember that.
Sitting down with this buckaroos, the cowboys there.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's out of a movie, but people don't understand that's regular life for them, right?
It sure is. These guys dress that way every day.
Nice. So it's so cool that you're there, sir. You're like living in a Hollywood movie.
It is. Living here in Prescott has its advantages. We're up a mile high, and most of it is cowboy country, and people actually live the life of cowboys, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very relaxing here. Cowboy atmosphere, yeah.
Nice. And that cowboy atmosphere, how does it help with your Kenpo, sir?
Oh gosh. Well, they're very grounded people. They're very grounded. The salt of the earth. they don't. Well, here's one thing: they will help you. They take care of you. People here look out for each other, but they expect you to take care of yourself. And when you can't, yes, they'll help. So it's an old American attitude of, pick yourself up, take care of yourself. One of the things I noticed as soon as we got up here with Jill was that when you wanted to change lanes in Prescott, when you're in your car, they would wave you over. People look out for each other. And,
Nice.
Coming from California, that didn't happen very often. But it's a way of life up here. If you drive out past the ranches, they don't even know you, but they'll wave. Okay? It's expected to be polite. They call you sir, they call you ma'am. It's a softer, calmer lifestyle.
Nice, beautiful. So today, I mean, you've been on our other platform, on the other show, on the Open Mat Talks twice. So this is the third time I get, lucky to interview you, sir. And we usually, when we start, we go with a brief background and stuff, but we already done that. So I guess people already know you. But I do have, I mean, we were talking before going live a little bit, so, and I do have a couple of questions. One is things that you have shared with me and that you taught me back in the days is, we work in our pajamas, we go barefooted, and we actually, I mean, you've been teaching for many, many, many years, but it's like, it's not really a job per se. It's more like something that you really enjoy, right?
Well, it's a lifestyle. And it's like I've told people many times is I never went to work. Okay. Doing Kenpo and teaching is my life. People say, well, when are you going to retire? And I go, retire from what? Myself? Okay. I've one time I was overseas, I think I told you, and I was in Vietnam, and I said, God, if you get me out of here, and some friends of mine had just been killed. I said, I'd like to have something to sink my teeth into. And he said, and I heard a voice, and he said, Larry, he said, I've got something already prepared for you. And I could not see myself living and working in a cubicle in a corporation. It just, of all the things that scared me, it would be that. Okay, so I, like yourself and many other Kenpo teachers, were spared the cubicle. Okay, and we became our own bosses, and so very, very fortunate to. But that's how we were born. It's how we are wired. That's the way God wanted us to work. And but no, it's not work. It gets tiring sometimes. But how could it be work when you get to meet just so many people from all walks of life coming through your front door every day, and you learn so much from the people that you meet. Yeah.
That's right. And talking about that, we have a lot of people saying hello. Let me just bring some of the comments here. Ronald Briones, salute from Ecuador for you and for Grand Master Larry. Okay.
Hello, Ecuador.
International Hall of Fame, salute maestros. Chinese Cultural House, Santa Fe, Argentina. Hug from the heart from Sifu Ernesto Colbrenner. Saludos.
Salute all the way. That's right.
American Kenpo Karate, Kenpo International, Brazil. Saludos from Atalayas Kenpo System, Brazil.
Oh, fantastic. Good to see you.
IKKA Portugal, Kenpo Karate. Greetings from Portugal. It's a pleasure to be with Grandmaster Larry and Master Frank. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. I've been to Portugal a couple times. I love it.
Nice. Oh, here we go. Familiar face. Angela says, hi, Dad. Miss you so much. Thank you for everything you have done for Kenpo, for me and my family. We will love you forever. Deepest bow of respect to you and the Tatum family.
Oh, thank you, Angela. She, every time she came to class, just a big smile on her face, and I had to stay serious. But just looking over at Angela with her smile, I would start cracking up too. And so good.
Nice. Master Ivan Sensi Salinas, what a great guest, Senior Grandmaster.
Hello.
Christian Medina, greetings from Ecuador, Mr. Larry Tatum.
Hi, Christian.
Okay. Maestro Patrick Kennedy. Hi, Mr. Tatum, sir, and Frank. Thanks very much for all the help you have been giving me over the last few weeks. Reference university pattern. When you get a chance, will you please send me more information? Patrick Kennedy, LTKKA, Ireland.
Absolutely. Patrick was the one with James Leonard that got me situated in Ireland many years ago. And gosh, I've been to Ireland 15 times.
Wow.
Second home. Yeah, we've had tournaments there, and it's been great.
Wow. Wow. Let's see. Jeffrey Kolaski. Greetings from sunny Tujunga. Hope the master is well.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to see you on here. I like your mustache.
Nice. Yeah. Scorch 1028 or 1028. It's an honor to chat with Grandmaster Larry Tatum. I would like to know where he was at the time that Mr. Parker died, and if he could and if he felt he could carry on Mr. Parker's legacy at the time.
I was in my house in the morning, and a friend of mine called and gave me the sad news. And it's funny about carrying a legacy. It's if you project it ahead of yourself, it becomes overwhelming. And I've had many talks with Mr. Parker before he passed away. And one thing that we both knew, that the legacy would be carried by the people that pick up the torch, not just myself or any other master teacher in the art, but it's all of us that carry it. So the legacy is that, okay? And
amazing.
You know, and when you're younger and you see further down the road, it looks like it's going to be too heavy to, carry part of the load. And so you have to grow into it as you go along. Yeah.
And we were mentioning earlier before going live about, the legacy being taken care of and people teaching the art and promoting the art in their places and how much of a great job they're doing, right?
Absolutely. We were talking about, and I was expressing how great it was that you have kept the politics out of this show. And it's just wonderful because you've always, when you interview people, you bring out the best in them and you let them talk about what they have experienced through the art. And you've managed to do that without the politics invading it, okay? Or what we call the Kenpo disease. So this is very important because, in life, you're going to get along with some people and obviously not with others. But the important thing, you may not like a teacher of a school, but right. You've got to like the fact that that teacher is creating students that are benefiting through his or hers teachings, okay? That has to be respected, okay? Nobody says you have to like or get along with everybody else. That's not the important thing. What is important is that people are out there teaching and their hearts, for the most part, in the right place, okay? And like I told you, at my station in the art now is that where I am not bound by association. I'm not bound by exclusivity at all. I teach whom and anybody that I want to teach. And this is a type of freedom that we were talking about earlier that you will obtain as you go through the competition era of teaching. And, it's human nature. I went through it myself. You're competing to be the best teacher. You want to see what that other person's doing. And this is what, people do at an early age. But then you have to, transgress through that and reach a point to where that's not important. What's important, the legacy that's important is the people that you work with and the people that you help. And that's what we do. Okay.
Right.
It's a freedom. Of course, I'm at an age now where I'm in a different state within the art, and which I enjoy very much. Yeah.
Good. And I also I had to mention something about this as well. You have created so many different tools, starting with your with the the Panther production videos, and then the curriculum on video, and now the app. You're always, looking for that taking that step ahead to put the art out there. How has it been with the app, sir?
Well, the apps just took off tremendously, I think, and it's growing every day. What's nice is that it's incredible for you. It's right there in your hands. Whenever you want, you go to the beach, the app is there. You're teaching students, and you want to look for reference to a technique or a form or a basic, for that matter. Everything's there, and it's a type of freedom to have that for you. Like a guy told me the other day, he said the app and the videos took the stranglehold off of Kenpo. And he was right. It did. Okay. It gave access worldwide to everybody so that they can maintain their own individuality in the art, but at the same time, they have a good reference point.
Great. I think it's amazing to take advantage of all these technologies like what we're doing today right here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, we have more people saying hello. Maestro Roberto Almagro, salud, Grandmaster Larry Tatum and Maestro Frank Soto. My respects and admiration for both of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Great martial artist and another great teacher that loves his students.
Says greeting from the LTKKA Ecuador. Yes, we just had him on the show. I think it was last week in the.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
it was good. Yes, great man. Saludos, Maestro. Okay, Maurice James Howie, respect and salute from South Australia to you all. Mr. Tatum, a brilliant mind and man.
Oh, thank you. Nice. Thank you, Maurice.
Okay, Seabrook Martial Arts Academy. Besides being an amazing teacher of Kenpo, Grandmaster Tatum is a role model and a great man. Respect from Canada.
Well, thank you, Jamie.
Nice. Let's see. Edward Chavez. Hello from Goodyear, Arizona, Mr. Soto, Mr. Tatum. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, sir.
Another Arizonian.
Jeffrey says, it's spared from the cubicle. That's gold, Mr. Tatum.
That's gold. It's spared from the cubicle. That's right. If you're built for the cubicle, great. But if you're not, you can't force into a square, a peg into a square, right? A round peg.
Yeah. I tried it for several months. It's not fun. Not when you're not used to it. If you like it, that's a good thing. Sensei Axel Cardenas, big hug, Senior Grandmaster Larry Tatum from Chile.
All the way from Chile. I'm going to be there pretty soon, as soon as it opens up.
Nice.
So nice. I want to have
I think people miss you there already, sir.
Oh, great family down there.
Maestro Joe Ribello, Kenpo salute, an honor to see Grandmaster Tatum and Frank together for insights. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing, Joe? Joe is an encyclopedia of the martial art world. I love it.
Yeah, he's been on the show several times with a lot of very interesting information. Okay. You want me to, there's a lot of people saying hello.
Hello.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Langford Vermeulen, I guess. Salute and all from South Africa, Cape Town. Holds Kenpo student here of Nassim Holmes. Question, my kind sir, when will we see you in Cape Town, South Africa? God bless. Nice seeing you guys.
You know, I've never been to Cape Town. I always wanted to go there. I guess when the pandemic lifts, we could make arrangements and do some seminars there. And I'd love to see that part of the world.
Nice. There you go. Willie Kelly, great Mr. Tatum, Patrick and John and Dan. We go back a long way and are still great friends, and we still love each other in Kenpo.
Fantastic. That's the whole point.
Peroso Kenpo Evolution, saludos. Salute Master Frank Soto, Master Larry Tatum from Peru.
Oh, all the way from Peru. Boy, the food is great down there.
Nice. Danny Arnold says, I've been looking forward to this one. Good morning, Mr. Tatum from Seattle.
Hey, good morning, Danny. Glad to have you.
Okay. Let's see. Maestro Nelson Pinto, sorry. Hello, gentlemen. Much respect from South Carolina.
Hi, how are you doing, Nelson?
Okay. Here's a good question. Let's see. Jose Antonio Fonseca said, good morning, Master Frank. As always, excellent show. Thank you. I would like if you would allow me to ask a couple of questions to Grandmaster Larry. Do you think that the structure of the Kenpo system has allowed him to be successful in learning through videos like yours and those of Master Frank? Or do you consider that by this means any style of martial arts can be learned? It's a good one.
Well, you know, some of at first when I did the videos a long time ago, before I did the app and so forth, I was wondering, could somebody actually learn from it? Most people were very curious and say, no, you have to have a studio atmosphere where you go in and work out with people. As long as you have the willingness to want to devote yourself to learning, it's the format that you're learning from is not always that important. If you have a couple of people you work out with in the neighborhood, or if you've had some previous training, yes, I've had a number of black belts from just doing the app, okay, where they lived so far back in the country they couldn't get to a school, and they did great. It's all an individual. The platform, yes, we'd all like to go to a school and have that interaction, but not everybody has that open to them. So yeah, you can learn anything from any platform, definitely.
I gotta add something here, sir. When I started learning from you back in the 90s, I would go and visit the Pasadena school and get lessons from you, and then come back with the videos and practice and practice and practice. And I used to watch those VHS every night. I remember it got to a point that the thing got just torn. Yeah, I learned how to fix them, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I remember because my brother, who was not a martial artist, would say to me, I'm an expert in Kenpo now. You know, we were young, we were still living together at our parents' house before we got married and stuff like that. But anyway, the videos made a big difference in my training and my learning of the art, for sure. It's an amazing, amazing tool.
Well, I'll tell you something. When I got my pilot's license, I didn't have time to go to ground school, where you have to take a very involved ground school. Then you have to take a written test, which is very involved. And so I took a course on VHS of the ground school, and I'd stay up till 3 a.m. every night going over it and going over it. And I aced the test when I went to get my pilot's license, the ground test. So
one of the things that video did for me was I was able to model my instructor watching the video over and over and over. So you got that model that is going into your mind, and you're trying to repeat it, and you can see it again and again and again and again. And that makes a big, big difference. It really does.
Yeah, it's a visual connection that goes right to the part of your brain that collects all that type of information. It does.
Yeah, I bet you anything that if I watch the videos again, I can tell the lines before you say them, for sure, because I've seen them so many times. Oh yeah, they were. If anybody here listening, you can get the app. You will learn from it, and it will make a difference in your training. So I will definitely recommend it, strongly recommend it that you do so. Okay. Jim Conan says, excellent opportunity, just being here.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
Okay, we have Michael Lee Martin saying, my respect, masters. Thank you both for many years of inspirational guidance. Kenpo salute from Chicago.
Oh,
thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Great.
Okay, Lucia Ruiz. Wow, a great honor looking live at Grandmaster Tatum, a living legend. Thank you, Master Frank. Gracias, Lucia. Saludos.
I guess I'm still alive.
Are we? Maybe we're in a, I don't
know. When I wake up in the morning, I wait for different body parts to wake up at different times. Okay. First, I allow one of my left foot to wake up, and then maybe my right calf, And then one of my arms, right?
Do they say good morning when they wake up?
They do.
Oh, nice.
They do. My body says, you've put me through this for all your life, so give me a chance to wake up.
Okay. Montesser Noor says, wow, awesome, Mr. Tatum. Salud. Had the videos in my karate school in 95, facing outside all night long. I opened school to new students.
I know. He's a great man. He really is. And he comes to a lot of my seminars all over the world. And he was one of the first guys who got the app.
Wow.
Yep.
Mr. Tatum is a living legend, a great human being, and an awesome teacher.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you. María Eugenia Villafañe. Saludos, Maestro Larry.
There she is. She is one of the best fighters in the world. I mean, she can really fight. And being from Venezuela, she really, and a great teacher too. She loves her kids, her students. She's wonderful. She's very inspirational. Really nice.
Amazing. Saludos. Tony Gonzalez. Greetings and respect from Tony Gonzalez in Dallas, Texas.
Hey, Tony. How you doing?
Tim Burnett. Grandmaster Tatum. Great example of genius and humbleness.
Well, I don't know about the genius, but
we do
what we can. That's all we can do.
Okay. Let's see. Joe Rebello says, eternally grateful for your creation of the Kenpo Knives form videos. As one of the few who has taught the form directly, what was your memory of being introduced to the form? Nice.
Stabbing myself with the knives in my leg. I did. I was doing a rehearsal in front of the camera, and I had my cowboy boots on. And my cowboy boots got stuck in the mat, and so it threw the knife right down about that deep into my right into my leg. And I didn't want to stop, so I kept on going. I pulled it out of my leg, and I could feel the warm blood going down my leg. And my wife looked at me. She said, honey, you stabbed yourself. I said, I can keep going. And finally, the pain set in, and there was too much blood. So I said, okay, hold it. So yeah, that's one of my first memories of doing it. Well, the knives, interesting weapon. I was talking with Mr. Parker years ago, and I said, do you still teach the knife form? And he said, I haven't taught it since 1968. 69. And I asked him why. He said, well, he said, I don't, didn't want to give false confidence to people to go out and stay in a knife fight. If somebody pulled a knife on it, and they would stay there thinking that they're going to go ahead and defend themselves. And he said the best thing to do is, run away from a knife, because the odds are you're going to get cut anyway. And he said, and the local police in Pasadena didn't like the idea that we're teaching that, but he said, why do you want to learn it? And I said, yeah. So I said, I'd like to learn it. And he said, well, let me look it up. He said, I haven't gone over it in years. So he went into his closet and he found it under a stack of paper where he had written down forms. And he pulled it out, and we blew the dust off of it, literally, and opened it up. And the first thing I noticed was that he had it written in hieroglyphs, meaning that he was using the shape and the position of knives to create the form with two knives. And that was how it was spoken. And nobody could read it except himself. Okay? It was all in Kenpo hieroglyphs. I write about it in one of my books. And he said, look, let me go over it for a few days, and then come back and we'll start in. And so I went back about a week later, and we started in his backyard. And it took a while to get through everything. And by the time we got through it, my coordination was changing drastically because of the blades. And whenever you put a weapon in a hand, it distracts from your natural coordination, okay? Because you're obligated to the weapon itself, the weight, the contouring of the weapon, all of this plays with your mind, okay? So after you get used to that and it's comfortable, then you're home free. It's a very lengthy form, and to be done right, there are so many nuances in it that you have to remember. One of the first things you learn about the knife is that there's always a backlash. So that somebody, if they try to cut you, and even though you parry it, blade coming back can still cut you. That's one of the things. Do I teach it a lot? No, I put it on video, and I was really hesitant about putting it out on video because I didn't want to, as you know, as he said to me, give people false sense of security, because I'd rather them get away from a knife than stick. But if you can't, if you're in a position where you can't run from a knife, then at least you have something. Okay. And it's every angle that the knives can be used on, forward and reverse, opposites and equals. So it's very enlightening. It teaches you more about the depth of the art of Kenpo than you realize. Yeah.
And I gotta ask, because I think this is truly amazing. But I guess sometimes a student doesn't understand how the knife or the club or the staff, it works on the platform of the art itself. You don't have to change anything; you just adapt it, right?
You adapt. You have to be familiarized with the weight, like I said, and the structure of the weapon itself. The patterns are constant. Okay, there's a finite amount of patterns in our three-dimensional world. Okay, the patterns are all within the forms themselves. The patterns have priority over application. Forms are not necessarily for application as much as they are for patterns. That's very important to understand. So when you do something like Form 4 and so forth, and you say, well, I'm open here, or I'm not open there, or I have a line of entry, this doesn't make sense to the laws of Kenpo. It's not supposed to, because it's the form, it's the patterns that are being facilitated. Okay. Now, it's the same with the knives. They're getting used to moving that much weight, particularly with Kenpo knives. They're very heavy. Okay. And structurally, you have to remember the reverse motion more than if you have bare hands. Okay. It's very sensitive. It's a sensitive form. It's like the Jaguar I have in my car. Beautiful, but when it breaks down, it costs money to fix it. It's a very sensitive car. And it's the same with the form. It's very sensitive. Okay. Your margin of error is very small when dealing in knife situations. And this is, take it with a grain of salt.
Nice, nice. Okay, we have more comments here. Julie Evans says, "Oh my God, I almost missed it. Hello to two great masters."
Julie is a remarkable martial artist, and she is an incredible teacher. She's a natural warrior. It's just in her blood, but she has a tremendous amount of compassion for people and students, and she takes their baggage home with her too, like most good teachers. She really listens to people, and tremendous warrior too. Yeah.
Agree. Yes. Great. Willie Guerrero, salud and blessings from La Paz, Baja California, Master Frank and Grandmaster Tatum. Saludos, maestro.
Salud, Willie.
Tony Gonzalez, Mr. Tatum, are you planning any seminars this year, and where?
Yeah, I just got back from Salt Lake City 2 weeks ago, and that was tremendous. They had a huge tournament up there, and these were the Shaolin Kenpo people, and I've been with them now for a few years, and they're adapting to American Kenpo, which is great. You know, I don't ask these guys to change everything they're doing, but incorporate the concepts and the principles into what they're doing. So that way they can still keep their art that they love. And what I noticed when I went up there 2 weeks ago, I hadn't seen them since the pandemic, and their motion had changed. They were still doing what they're doing, but the concepts and principles, what I showed them in American Kenpo, had embedded itself in it. A great group of people, and most of them were Mormons. So just wonderful people up there, and family. They just love family up there. And I was at Carol White's in Florida a month ago. That was wonderful too.
Nice, nice.
And then my next trip is going to be Pennsylvania, David Pantana's.
Okay.
And that'll be September.
Great. So go to Pennsylvania, guys. September. Put it in your calendar. Okay. Alexandre Ribeiro. Big hug to Grandmaster Larry. Looking forward to getting back to training with him soon. Reading from Portugal.
Hey, how you doing, Alexander? That'll happen. The world is opening up again, so I'm doing my seminar, so I'm back on track.
Nice, nice. Let's see. Maestro Sergio Contreras. Greeting from Chile.
My other brother from Chile. Oh, gosh, that goes back. He has done so much for his country, and just amazing what he's done. He brought Kenpo up so much, and he gave up a certain life to have this life of Kenpo. And he's been very, very blessed, and he blesses everybody he works with.
Yeah, amazing man, amazing friend too. Let's see. Okay, we have a question here. Something that happened that I actually remember. Let's see. Jeff Koloski says, "Would Grandmaster Tatum please share how he got his expertise in tossing a credit card? A lot of people don't know Mr. Tatum doesn't need a gun or a knife. If he has a credit card, he's very well armed." Yes.
Oh yeah, you mean like this? Like a credit card? Years ago, around 1974, I was teaching in Pasadena, and I was by myself one afternoon, and a guy from China, a kid from China, about 18 years old, came in the front door, and he was curious, and he was watching me do the Kenpo. He said, "I've never seen it like this," and he said, I'm from mainland China. And he said, "This is fascinating." He said, "This is similar to Kung Fu that we do," but he said, "It's different." And I said, "Well, let's come on in and have a seat." And I said, "Are you living here?" He said, "No." He said, I'm visiting." And I said, "Well, what style do you do?" He says, "Well, I do two things. I shoot rubber bands and I throw cards." And he had a deck of cards, regular playing cards. And he said, "Would you like to see?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." And so he said, "Well, stand way over there at the end of the match," which is about 50 feet away. And he took a playing card, and it was a jack, I remember. And he picked it up like this in his hand, and he threw it so fast and with so much power that it hit me in the side of the head and almost knocked me out. And that was a playing card. And the faster an object goes, kinetic energy builds up. And I said, "My God, I've never seen that. I didn't know anybody could throw a card." He said, "Well, I'll teach you if you'd like to learn." So he was the one who taught me. And I got good. at it. And I was in the studio one day, and Jeff was there with the other guys. And there was a staff on the staff rack. And it was about 50 feet away. And I took out a credit card. Whack! And it knocked the staff off of the rack. They didn't think it could be done. And I said, "Well, watch that staff." I used to be good. I haven't done it in a long time. But this card can knock you out. A regular credit card can knock you out if you hit the right place. The speed of it is something else. Okay. So, and the other thing the kid did is, I said, "What do you mean you shoot rubber bands?" He said, "Well, what we did in high school, we would triangulate the strongest and weakest points in a rubber band, and we wrap it around our hand a certain configuration." And he said, "What happens is the rubber band goes 10 times stronger and faster than like we did when we were kids." And he shot me with that. And I forgot how he did that. I forgot how he triangulated the weak and the strongest part of the rubber band, but he could shoot a rubber band 50 feet or more. It was amazing. And then he left, and that was my introduction to throwing cards. And I used to take it to different groups of guys, and you could see them all carrying credit cards that they didn't want anymore, and people were throwing them everywhere. So, yeah.
What amazes me is, like you always say, you open up the doors of your studio, and you get all these people with this amazing or weird skills, sharing them with you.
Well, it's like I told a guy, I had an agent in Hollywood, said, I got a movie for you, a low budget movie. This is 1974, 73, it's 1973. And I had to put all my time in the studio in West LA. And I said, I would have to sit in a trailer reading lines every day and then waiting for the next picture and so forth. He said, yes. I said, you know something? I said, I'm blessed with having the world come to me through the doors every day. And I said, I would rather have that than anything else. He said, okay. And he understood. But I've done a few films and so forth, which I enjoy. But my heart was always into that front door being open to the world.
Wow. Julie says, I watched those VHS all the time back in the day.
Funny about the VHS or the DVDs that I did afterwards, whatever. Once I do one, I look at it once and then I never look at it again. And it's just a part of me that just likes to keep moving forward. I'll look at it to see if it's done correctly, if there's any mistakes, you know, and so forth. But once I see my work, I don't look at it again. The only time I see it is when I go to other schools and they have it up on their TV, okay, or on YouTube. I'll see them on YouTube, but that's the only time that I ever get to see them again. In fact, I have forgotten so much of what I did on them. You know, that's a whole life in itself. When I see it, I go, wow, did I really do that? Did I do this? Did I do so forth? So, and it's nice because I get to see myself at different ages. And, my expertise changed, you know, proportionally from the first VHS to the second VHS to the DVDs to all the other videos I did. I think I've got 76 DVDs now. And yeah.
I just got to ask, you mentioned about your expertise. I remember, I think it was back in the late 90s when you got your 10th degree and we went to the gathering of the Eagles and all that stuff. It's been a while. It's been a while. Does it stop there, or you continue to grow and to evolve with your expertise? How is it from there until now? Because people see the 10th degree and they think that's it, right?
Yeah, and what is really gratifying is that a few people that I have promoted to 10th degree on their own merits has still coming to me for lessons, even after they have their 10th degree. And I thought, you know, that's not necessary. And they go, no, Mr. Tatum, we want to you still have more to teach. And, you know, half the time when I teach now, I don't wear my belt. I don't really, you know, you reach a point in your career where the belt's not that important. It's very gratifying. And we need short-term goals along the ways, and belts help that, okay? We are human and we need material recognition of things that we do. But then after a while, no, it's just, I try to become a better teacher and a better physical martial artist every day. And I find new things out about the art that I like to pass on in my teaching up here. And so it's an open-end triangle. So, you know, you have, when you put your hands like this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 open-end triangles. Okay. Yes, then when you put your arms in like this, you have one of them's closed now. Okay. Well, that knowledge is shut off. That door of entry is shut off. Okay. So I don't like to close off all 4 unless I'm fighting. Okay. Then they open up. They open up in a circle. Okay. And so forth. But you need those open-end triangles. And the day that all those triangles are closed off, you're not learning anymore.
Yes. Interesting. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. Jim Conan says, the early videos Master Tatum produced have been nothing less than essential, literally vital in my training. Best wishes from East Idaho. Sorry.
Thank you, Jim. I had red hair then. That's when my hair was still red. Trouble with red hair, when I was a kid in high school, junior high school, if I was with a group of kids and something happened that was against the rules, so to speak. Somebody'd say, well, the redheaded kid was there. So I stuck out like, yeah, but it became my signature for a long time.
Okay. Danny Arnold says, one of my instructors and a close friend is Mr. Gene Eckhart. Gene's instructor was Mr. Tim Bueller. Mr. Bueller was taught by Mr. Tatum. I'd love to meet you someday, sir. That'd be excellent.
I would be happy to. Tim Bueller he just got an award for his work on the Sheriff's Department. And among other accolades he's got throughout the year, he's a tremendous weapons expert. He can shoot any weapon, show you how to, he is a master at it. It's amazing to see him work. He would drive from Texas in the rain up to take lessons at my house. He wouldn't fly because the plane scared him, because as a police officer, he had to come up on a plane that crashed. And he never forgot that. So he said, no, I'm not flying. He said, I'm driving. And he would drive straight through on every one of his lessons. I don't know how he did it, but great man, great man.
Nice. Mike R. says, I know karate. Good.
I do too.
Yes.
He lives down the street.
Oh, nice.
Across from the country.
Montessor Nua says, I very much recommend the app.
That's right. Yeah, I have it on one of my phones. I don't get to see it very often, but it's there. It helps. It really does. I mean, there isn't a place you can't go without using that app. It's wonderful. It really makes a difference.
Good. Douglas Ferraz, salute from Brazil.
Hello, Douglas.
Okay, we have another familiar face here. Mr. Bry Cooper. Hello, gentlemen. Great to see you. Looking so well, Larry. Have some great memories of our time together, from the Garage Dojo in the late 80s, the movie Change, the opening of the Green Street Headquarters School, and the launch of the LTKKA to the masses with your highly successful technique series in 92, 93. Seems like yesterday, my friend. Wishing you and your family continued success and health. Salute.
Oh, thank you, Brian. I was my first international seminar was on Jersey Island off the coast of England. And I was in a church, an old church, giving a seminar, and everybody came up and there's salute, bow, and shake hands, go down the line, right? And this one kid comes up, he's about 18 years old, and he was wearing a yellow belt. He said, I want to say thank you so much for coming over here and teaching us. And that was Brian Cooper.
Wow.
Yeah. And Brian he has done so much for people that he's worked with, and he's a tremendous Kenpoist, and he's a natural warrior, okay, and a great personality. He loves people, and just a good guy all the way around. And it was just I watched him grow through the art through all these years, and I'm glad he came on. Good to see you, Brian.
Nice. Angela, ha ha ha. I always felt like I was in an alternate universe on Green Street, especially when William was there. Ha ha ha. Yikes.
I know, big William. William was interesting. Talk about people that come in the studio that you get to meet. He was a graduate from Caltech, engineering, and his mind is just incredible mind. And when I first met him, he said, well, I'm still in Caltech and I'm doing Tang Soo Do. He said, is it all right if I continue to do Tang Soo Do? I said, of course. I said, do it. I said, absolutely. He said, okay, great. He said, because some teachers won't let you do another style. I said, oh, William, I said, my God, do what you want. And so I taught him similar to the way that he was being taught at Caltech. I remember that. But at the same time, he gave me a tremendous insight and education on laws of physics and the contributing factors to the world of engineering with your body. And he was one of the first guys, and I think he was the first, that built a machine that you would kick, and it would feed back how much power was exerted on it. And he did it as a thesis. And I think he was the first one who ever did that in the martial art world.
Wow.
He created it himself.
Wow. Cool. Okay. Maestro Roberto Almagro. Question for Grandmaster Larry. How can one pass from the what if phase to the formulation phase?
Well, you pass from it naturally, okay? When you learn all of these techniques, and there's so many of them, is that they embed themselves in your subconscious. And your subconscious mind is kind of kept under wraps most of the time. If you're in a fight, when you feel the pain of the battle that you're in, your subconscious will either fright or flight mean run, or stay and fight. And if you stay and fight, your subconscious will take over the conscious effort that you are in at that moment. And all the information that you stored back there with those techniques interact, and you link all of the information, all of the basics, all of the patterns, okay? And they come out into a technique that you may not have even been familiarized with, but it fits the situation, okay? All right, so that's where you draw it from. Now, you can do it on your conscious mind. You can say, okay, I'm going to block, and then I'm going to chop an elbow, and then I'm going to rearrange it. I'm going to elbow first and then chop. But, this is a conscious effort. When you're in your subconscious mode, what we call a temporal distortion, that's where everything that you see goes past your conscious mind directly to the subconscious. And that's why in the moment, things seem like they're in slow motion. But yet you're in hyperspace, you're in hyperspeed. And what happens is, if you have enough information back there, then it'll come flooding out to protect you. If you didn't seed the concepts and principles along with all of that material, it may or may not come out, okay? And you can only access the subconscious like a computer, what you put into it. You can't access something that's not there, okay?
That's right.
You can't access in the middle of a fight with your conscious mind. It'll slow you down, okay? So what you learn, and what I learned years ago, was to free myself from the conscious mind by going to my subconscious without getting all worked up. I wanted to be able to have that temporal distortion, what we call temporal distortion, but I didn't want to have to get all hyperactive, okay, to reach that. I wanted to reach it just like I'm talking now, that I could be able to, at any moment, I could move from that place. And I discovered how to guide my way to it instantly. Okay, that is the key to going from a formulated, okay, one that's already an ideal, to a formulated stage. Formulated stage is a lot more exciting for the individual. It's a point to where the subconscious, like when Elvis would start singing and really get into it, he was no longer from his conscious mind, but he was in his spirit. Okay, and your spirit resides in your subconscious. Okay, it does. Now, you don't want to live in that daily because you'll burn yourself out.
Right.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you, sir. Montasser Newer says, my funniest part in all the videos is when Mr. Tatum told Rick, you're lucky I have control.
Well, what happened was I had slipped and got too close to him, and I almost knocked him out. Okay, but we were shooting 151 techniques, including extensions. We were shooting that within 2 days. So it was nonstop, and I was tired. The other guys were tired. My feet were killing me, and I had to make sure every technique had the same power and sense of rhythm, timing, and expertise as the very first ones did. And I got too close to it. So I remember thinking, well, it's a good thing I have control, because I didn't want the audience to think that I had killed him. Okay, so he was very good about it, though. He was very good about it. I mean, we all hit each other from time to time too hard, and but Kenpo, they go, it's a love tap.
So you did all the videos in like a couple of days, all those techniques?
Yeah, and I was wiped out for 2 months. My feet were shot. My body, see, when I move, I just don't go through the motion, okay? When I teach, you know, everything comes into sync. My entire body acts as one, just much like a tiger does, or so forth. And when you do that, you pay for it. But I'm an artist, and I'd rather see it done the best I could than just going through the motions. Okay.
Right. I remember one of the lessons you gave me, sir, if I may, when we were doing the forms, practicing the forms, like short form 1. You said, I remember once you told me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going through the form." I said, no. If you're going to do the form, do the form. Don't go through the form. Just do the form. I said, okay. And it stuck with me. Every time I do the form, I get into it, and I do the form, and I do it correctly every time. It's
a different, when you allow your spirit to come forth through a form or any motion that comes from your subconscious. You have to allow that side of you that you don't get to see very often. If you get in a car accident, suddenly that spirit of yours sees things in slow motion, and you're excited, and it stays with you all day long. Okay. What's happened is you're super keyed up, but you are in tune with who you are. Things that were so important to you before the car accident aren't that important anymore, because you feel your vulnerability. Okay, you feel vulnerability for the other people. You feel life. Okay, that's why a lot of soldiers come back from a war, and actually the letdown is hard on them because they're so used to being in spirit.
Gotcha.
Like when I was in Vietnam for a year, when I was in my first foxhole, after a couple of weeks there, I got hit with a mortar. Came in, blew me up, knocked the crap out of me. And I was just turned 20. My spirit jumped out of my body and was protecting me. I never forgot that. Okay, and I could hear guys screaming because they were injured and so forth. Well, from that point on, my spirit was out of my body for the whole year I was there. I had to survive. I was out of my conscious mind. You're in this hyper extended area. When I got ready to come home from Vietnam, about 2 days before, I was walking across the road, and suddenly I doubled over because my stomach just went crazy. So I pulled myself over to the medic station, and he told me, he said, "When do you go home?" I said, "In 2 days." He said, "You've allowed your spirit to go back down inside, and now you're back the way you were when you first got here." And he said, "And that's why you're feeling this anxiety." He said, I said, "But I should be happy going home." He said, "Yeah," but he said, "You're back to Larry, the guy that came over there the first day." He said, "All you guys do that over here." He says, "You drop about 3 days before your subconscious goes back, you stop being hyper so you can stay alive." And he said, "Then it hurts." When I got home that night, I got very sick and delirious, and I threw up, and I was walking around the house in my sleep. And my parents woke up, and they had to wake me up. What had happened was I lived in my subconscious too long, being a soldier, but you have to. And I was coming back down, being the person that I was at home before I went to war. Now, it's the same thing with the art of Kenpo. You can go to that subconscious, but you don't want to stay there, okay, when you need it. Okay, so it's a fascinating thing. And so when I got back and started training again and getting ready to do it as a life study, that's why I said I wanted to be able to find that place without having to get worked up to get there. And I did.
Nice. We have a lot of comments, sir, but we are, we've been here for an hour. I don't know if you want to continue. It's up to you, sir.
No, go ahead. I'm fine.
Okay, great. I'm doing great. So, okay. Salman Santana, greetings from Brazil, Atalaya's Kenpo system.
Hey, how are you doing? Glad to see you. Good to see you.
Okay. Met Combine do a great martial salute from Venezuela to all the followers of the show from Maestro Luis Noel Velázquez.
Hey, glad to see you. I had nothing but good things about Venezuela. I've been there 4 times. 4 times, yeah.
I remember the first time, sir.
Oh, yeah. We got mobbed.
and you knocked me out during the seminar. I remember that part.
Did I do that?
Yeah, but I didn't. I just stayed.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. You were doing, I think it was like a sandwiching elbow.
Oh, okay.
And you hit me so fast. It wasn't hard. It was just so fast right here. And I wanted to come back to the room. I think my spirit went back home all the way to Mexico. You know, say hi to my dogs and everything, and then I went back. I remember because you noticed and you grabbed my hand, and that's when I came back. Like, oh, okay. And you looked at me and said, "You okay?" I'm fine. I'm
okay.
fine.
Yeah, I remember. It was the tip of my elbow.
Yes.
Right here. So
yes.
It's like a bullet. The bullet isn't big, but the speed at what travels, the kinetic energy built up behind it, you know, you can see the shock wave. Yeah, I remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you were talking. You didn't notice at the beginning. I remember because Maestra Jill was there, and she noticed. She was looking from the side, and she looked at me and said, "Oh my God, he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall." And I'm just thinking, "Don't fall. You can't. You need to stay there, right?" That's what I'm trying to stand up because there were like 100 and so. I don't know, more than 100 people in that seminar.
I remember we counted about over 300.
Oh yeah, it was huge. It was huge.
Then we got mobbed because they wanted autographs, and I didn't know where to sit or stand, and so they're great people. It was a good time.
Hector Peran, saludos from Chile.
How are you doing, Hector? Another great guy.
Damien Abbott, evening from the UK. I made a phone call to Mr. Tatum back in 95, 96, and he changed everything for me.
Oh, gosh, I remember that. And always a natural talent, too. He just has a natural ability. He loves his student. He loves the art. He's like so many of us that I don't see Damien working in a cubicle, okay? He was not born for that. He was not designed for that. He was designed to teach and help, and he has done incredible things in Exeter, which is one of the most beautiful places to live in England and raise a family. Just beautiful.
Nice. Yes. Ruben Darío Aguilar says, Form 8 of Larry, great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Wilson Hu, good afternoon, Grandmaster Tatum. Good to hear you discuss Kenpo theory on here. Thank you for sharing, sir.
You're welcome, Wilson.
Okay. Julie Evans says, thank you.
You are welcome. My gosh. Julie hit me one time, and I felt it clear to Pasadena. She can hit. Let me tell you.
Good. Okay. Alejandro Mojarro, saludos to Master Larry Tatum. I know his excellent work since 1993. When he got the VHS videos, somebody bought it for him in San Diego, brought it to him. Big hug to both of you. Good vibes from Nayarit, Mexico.
Mexico, great.
Bernie Gorak II, greetings from Illinois.
Bernie and I are working together now, and he is another great man that just loves teaching. And in fact, we just hooked up recently. Yeah.
Nice. Maestro Frank Bigoriux, big hug, Frank. High regards to Mr. Tatum. Hello, brother.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I keep saying this, but it's true. Another incredible martial artist, you know, and love for the art and his students. We go way back, my gosh. And there was a time when he like many martial art teachers, the school wasn't doing so well, and he asked for help from the Lord, and the Lord did give him help, and he got back on course. And you know, it just it's gratifying to see all these people spreading the word throughout the martial art world. And he's another one doing it.
Beautiful. Muniz Abunawar, awesome having with us Mr. Tatum, and thank you, Mr. Soto. Lots of love and respect from Florida. Thank you, sir.
Hey, how you doing for it? Just there.
Daniel Tavares, salud from Colombia.
Aha, I've been to Colombia with Frank. Frank and I both went there. Yes.
We had a good time, that's for
We
sure.
did. That was good.
Okay, Salman Santana, greetings from Kenpo, Brazil, Atalaya's Kenpo system. Thank you, sir. Alejandro Giron, thanks, Master Frank, for this opportunities, and thanks, Master Tatum, for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad we can do it.
Okay, let's see. Alicia Bad Bieber, hello. I love the staff and credit card story. It happened just before my tenure at Green Street.
Oh, gosh. It was always great to have her there. She just had a great personality, and she was always up. She was just up, just really a great person to have in the school, and a tremendous talent, too. And she was at the Gathering Eagles when they gave me my 10th. Yeah, I remember that.
That's right. That's right. Let's see. Scorch 1028 says, I've heard a lot about Filipino influence on various Kenpo systems, but Master Tatum's Kenpo has managed to remain pure.
Well, I remain pure in the sense of the concepts and principles that are embedded in each technique I teach. Okay. I'm not reverent to the technique per se as much as I am to the principle or concept that's highlighted in each case study. That's why I don't call them techniques anymore. I call each one, it's a case study of motion.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay, we have a question here from Mr. Rebello. Said, one quick question. Someone was discussing Daniel Pye and his relationship to Mr. Parker. You met Daniel Pye and have a great story about meeting him. Could you relate the story? I remember that story.
When I was in the Army, after basic training, I went to Virginia for some more training. And I was in Fort Lee, Virginia for about 11 weeks. And being a young GI, we were proud of our uniforms. And so we decided to go into Richmond, Virginia. And we got a taxi when we got off the bus, and we said, do you have a place where we can, go dancing? And he says, yeah. He says, there's a club called the Persian Room. And I said, okay, let's go. So 3 of us went there in our uniforms, which was stupid, but we didn't know. And so we went upstairs into this nightclub, great nightclub, great bands and everything. And so we were dancing with the girls, and we had our uniforms on, and some of the guys didn't like soldiers there. So they came over after the song and they started to give us a lot of crap. And so just before a fight started, this guy comes over and looked just like Ed Parker. And he comes over and he says, I'll take care of this. You guys go on about your business, so forth. So this bouncer took the other guys down the stairs, and he threw one down the stairs and snapped another guy's arm. And after that was done, he came back. We heard all of what's going on. He said, look, I was a soldier at one time too. And he said, so, I know what you guys are going through. He said, but it's not the best idea to wear your uniform in a GI town. But I said, well, you look just like the man I learned Kenpo from. He said, you mean my cousin, Ed Parker? I said, yeah. He said, see this scar on my cheek? It was this big. I said, yeah, what happened? He said, well, I was doing a demo in Santa Monica Beach, and I got too hard on Ed, and he turned and swept me down and punched me so hard in my cheekbone that it took me to the hospital and get a spoon to pry out the bone. And I said, he said, no. He said, but he said, we still remain friends after that. And so of all the people that I would meet, just my first night out from the fort, it would be his cousin doing that. Yeah.
Wow. Frank Fenning, high regards to Master Tatum from Germany.
Hello, Germany. How you doing, Frank?
Nice. Maestro Julio Millán. Congratulations for this great project and this Greek effort. My admiration and respect to both of you. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Julie says, never forget the story of his students with green teeth.
Well, we had a student back in 1972. It being me, Frank Trejo, Steve Herring, and Jim Perugia were teaching on the mats at that time together. And one guy came in, and I opened up the front door, and he was very heavy, okay, and he smelled terrible. And he came in, we signed him up, and Frank came over to me, he said, that guy needs to take a bath. And I said, no. I said, we got to teach him. So he came back, and he bragged about that he hadn't taken a shower or a bath for 10 years. And Frank came up, and he said, God, Larry, he said, he has oil dripping out of his hair. And I said, and he had a belly button that was this big, and it was full of lint. I'm not kidding. And he was proud of it. And his gi would open up, and so one of the girls who was a friend of mine, she was Miss Hawaii at the time. And she was very pristine, took care of herself, very beautiful, long hair down here. Well, he'd wait till she sat down on the bench, and he'd scoot over and lean on her. And he would chatter his teeth at her, thinking that was cool. Or maybe he's trying to win her over. And she turned, he said, my God, I've never seen teeth that green. And she said, Larry, help. She really did. So we had to take him over and said, look, man, you're going to have to take a shower and quit leaning up against the girls. But he didn't listen. So one night, he was taking a shower. Finally, Frank threw him in the shower, and then Frank got his underwear and took it out in the back and lit it on fire. It's a true story. And he came running out of the shower and said, that's my underwear. I've had it for 10 years. And Frank said, not anymore. And, so there was a commercial where they used Biz detergent. It was called Biz. And in the commercial, they had a special bag that was the dirty bag, and they called it the Biz bag. And it was on at the time. So Frank and the other guys nicknamed him Biz bag. And I don't know why we're talking about that, but it was a true story.
You mentioned it.
And yeah, Biz bag. So, anyway, that was a long time ago.
Thank you for sharing. Those are funny stories. They're good.
Yeah.
Claudio Marcelo says, Master Tatum, amazing. Thanks and greetings from Chile, Valparaiso.
Howdy do.
Good. Jim Grisepka, salute to Master Soto and Grandmaster Tatum. It's been over 10 years when you slapped the question out of me in Pennsylvania.
I slapped the question out of me. Really? I don't remember that.
Okay. Angela says, there's always the old potato head lunch technique too.
Well, Angela had her two boys at the studio one day, and they were young. One was, gosh, I think 8 or 9, and the other one was about 7. And he was outside making a potato head, the youngest one. And so his older brother had pushed him and annoyed him, and he got really angry. So what he did is he looked, I'm watching this. So the younger brother, making a potato head, grabbed it and put the pieces of the potato head all together. And each time he did it, he was glaring at his brother. And he made sure his brother saw it. Then he put the potato head down and stood up, looked at his brother, and looked down there and kicked that potato head so hard it went through, almost went through the window. And it was him, you know, that was his brother he was kicking.
Of course. I remember, yes. Yeah. I was there. I remember that.
And his brother's eyes got this big. And so that's what you called transferring.
Yeah.
His anger into the potato head. Yeah.
This is what happened to you, brother, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't remember that, but I remember now. Yes.
I remember when Angela was pregnant. and she was about ready to have a baby. And I walked up to her and I said, when you get unpregnant, I want you to start taking Kenpo. And she said, unpregnant? I said, yeah, when you have the baby. And she said, I can't do this. I said, of course you can do this. And she did. A few months afterwards, she got back in. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. We have some more comments, sir. I don't know how you with time.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, let's go for another 10 minutes or so, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Eric Alfaro, God bless you both. Great friends, great masters, and martial arts crack. Fulgencio, buen dia. Greetings from Spain.
Hello, Spain. I love Spain. Been there. So.
Jaime Jerez Enrique, salute, Grandmaster Larry Tatum from LT Concepcion, Chile.
Hey, Jamie.
Nice. Another familiar face here. David Gigliotti. Hello, sir. Great interview. Enjoyed our Zoom lesson and look forward to the next one. It changed my views on Kenpo as well as the other arts I teach. I use the app almost daily. It's fantastic and a must-have for all Kenpoists. Salute from Rhode Island.
How you doing, David? Thank you so much. I'm glad it helps you.
Nice, nice. Okay, let's see. Matt Parks. Hi, Master Larry. Thank you for contributing to my martial arts journey. I have moved in a different direction in martial arts, but you contributed to the beginning of my lifelong journey.
That's great. Matt was always another natural talent. He was always willing to work out hard, too. He nice guy, very nice guy. Glad he was there.
Nice. Langford Vermeulen says, awesome, totally love the idea. Us in Cape Town, South Africa need some Kenpo legends like yourself, sir, on this African soil in the flesh. So yes, after this pandemic, myself, with the blessing, of course, of my instructor, Mr. Nassim Home, we will love having you. Keep up the great work, inspiring people in Kenpo across the globe. God bless you, gentlemen, an awesome show. Amazing.
Oh, wonderful. I look forward to it. It's great.
Wow. Great. Moniz Abunawar, always evolving, improving, and understanding the movements better.
Good.
Okay, now there's another question here. Alejandro Mojarro, when would you, when Maestro Tatum will visit Mexico? Big hug and blessings.
As soon as I can get back down I'll go down to La Paz again, and that should happen probably sometime after September, I hope, if they open it up. And I'm, want to come down to see Frank and so forth. So as soon as it opens up, and shouldn't be too much longer, I hope.
Yeah, let's just hope for the best. Yes, take care. Good. Okay, so Ronald Briones, we'll wait for you soon in Ecuador.
I will be there. I will be there.
Okay. Okay. Eric Alfaro says, I remind Mr. Tatum that I was the first one in all over the world to download his app, being in La Paz, and know you both he was at the Gathering of the Eagle in Las Vegas. Love you very much, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I remember that. You were the first one.
Nice. Great. Oh, Diane Wheeler joining later than planned due to social commitments in the pub, but we'll watch the full interview later. Just want to say thank you, Mr. Tatum, for being such a huge and fundamental reason for my journey from first to 6th-degree black belt, which continued through my use of your fantastic app. Much respect, Diane. Beautiful.
Diane's like a sister to me. Me and Jill just love her to death. She's was one of the first people I met in Jersey Island in 1984.
Wow. Nice. Montasser says, I have sat down next to you in a restaurant in La Paz, Mexico. In between bites, you will do a maneuver in the air or walk next to you different parts of the world and see you doing a maneuver. I know Kenpo is in your blood. That's why you are the eternal teacher. Okay.
Well, it's the funny thing of it is, I had no idea that that's what I was going to do for my life's work. But I will say that my physical action is part of my subconscious, so they're one and the same.
Nice. Okay, let's see. Danny Arnold says, is there a link to the app? Could you post it here, Mr. Soto, by chance? Okay, you got it there. ltkenpoapp.com.
Yep.
You can look for it there.
Or just go to your app store and type in Larry Tatum Kenpo.
Okay, there you go. You got it. Thank you for asking. Montazzer said, thank you, Mr. Soto. I appreciate all you do, sir. Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Okay, let's see. Wow, I don't think we're going to be able. Oh, let's see. Oh, we have a nice comment here. Mr. Maestro, Rainer Schulte. Good to hear and see you, Larry.
Oh, my gosh. Good to see you, Rainer. We were talking about you just recently about how much Rainer had done back in the 70s and I guess throughout the 80s and so forth. But he was so instrumental for bringing Kenpo to Europe in such a big way. And I remember how hard he worked. It was, I think he's another gentleman that didn't realize that was going to be part of what God wanted him to do. But he gave up his heart and soul for the art and developing it in Germany, all over England, all over Europe. He's so instrumental in doing that. And when he used to come to West LA, it was just a pleasure always to be around. He was a great friend and another man that loved life and loved people. And he has sacrificed so much of himself throughout all those years.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, sir. Okay, Michael Lee Martin said, I still have Grandmaster Tatum VHS tapes as well. Thank you. They have been a very valuable tool for me to this very day. After 8 years, the school that I attended had closed, and those recordings helped me to keep me connected. Thank you very much for providing those apps, DVDs, app, etc. Salute.
You're welcome, Michael. Glad to help.
Okay, Mayor Borman, Maestro, watching and listening. Great to see and hear.
I always remember Merv when he took us over to his house in, I guess it was Exeter. I think it was Exeter. Anyway, he's a great host. Wonderful guy. Wonderful guy.
Great. Mario Barrera. Greetings, Master, from Tomé, Chile.
Oh, Mario, good to see you.
Max Dojo Diamond Bar, much respect to you both, Master Tatum and Master Soto. Thank you, sir. Anthony Angulo, great interview. Had a great discussion with Will last night in class.
Oh, wonderful. Fantastic.
Let's see. Maestro Guido Polidori, full salute for both of this great reference as of the art.
And he's another guy that really has given up his life for the art and helping people. You know, it's one thing to give your life up for the art, but it's another thing to give it up for the people you teach. And he's done that.
Nice, nice. Maestro Walter Justice, it's always such an honor to see and hear from Grandmaster Larry Tatum. 3 world championships and the success of my students. I contribute to his teachings. Foot salute, sir.
And another guy, and another wonderful person that has become a master in his own right. And again, he has sacrificed so much so that so many others can benefit through it. Wonderful guy, great martial artist, and just a wonderful heart.
Beautiful. Pablo Mistral says, yes, okay. Yes, okay to you, sir. Okay, Anthony Angulo is asking, Mr. Tatum, are you teaching at a school in California this coming weekend?
No, I won't be out there again. I'll be in Orange County. I just found out yesterday in October for 3 days. I'll be teaching there, and they're having a big tournament there. And so everybody will be notified. Yep.
Great. Okay, Julie Ewan says, I remember when I was a green belt and I started doing moves out of nowhere without thinking.
That is subconscious. That's who you are. That's the way it is. You know, when you come up to a stoplight in your car and you unconsciously on the steering wheel start doing your techniques, everybody does that. And somebody will look over at you like you're crazy. All right? They'll look over. And then you do this, and you see them look, and you go, oh, excuse me. Right? How many of you guys have shaken hands like this accidentally? with a Kenpo handshake? And how many of you bowed before you entered a room because you're so used to bowing in the studio? And you embarrass yourself, right? And so, you know, I know, we've all done that.
Patrick Lansing says, greetings from the Netherlands. Hope you come to the Netherlands soon, Master Tatum.
I want to, because my wife and I have been watching Lillehammer, the series. That is a great series, and it's in Norway. And he probably knows all about it. So, yes, I want to come there.
Nice. Okay, we have a question here. Christian Medina says, Mr. Tatum, do you think that Kenpo training nowadays needs more contact because of the care of students or in order to avoid legal issues? There is any difference between the 70s, the 80s, and so forth? That's a good question.
Yeah, you've got to be more careful today. Back in the 70s and 80s, lawsuits weren't as rampant and available to people. You were expected, like when I grew up as a kid, is if you entered any sport, you were responsible for yourself within limitations, meaning that the coach or the teacher still couldn't just, put you in harm's way. But as time has gone by, they're so quick to sue because it's business to be able to sue. You know, I like the days when a person, you came in there within reason, was responsible for being there. Okay, and like myself and Frank, if you got injured, you took it. Okay, you healed and you came back.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But you know, that's old school. So yeah, today you got to be a little more careful.
Okay, so I think we're gonna have to do this again, sir.
All right.
Otherwise, we're going to be here all day talking. And there's a lot of people still watching. You know, it's been wild. So I just want to say thank you, sir, and thank you for everybody that watched this. And if you want, we can do it again sometime in the future because you know, it's great to have you on the show, and people are very excited. I can tell with all the comments here. I'm sorry we didn't get to pass all the comments today. I mean, it's just been crazy. So many comments. So I'm just going to put them on screen very fast. Anthony Angulo says hi. Patrick Kennedy, hi, Frank. Let's see. Michael Lee Martins also saying hello. Troy Danner said very awesome. Tony Capone, hello, Mr. Tatum and Mr. Soto. Luis Enrique Esquer, saludos. Salud, maestro. Revista Visión Marcial, salud from the south of Chile. Thank you. Okay, we have so many people, sir. Jesus Christ, I'm lost here. Okay, yeah, there's just so many. I'm sorry, guys. There's so many of you. Rodrigo Peña, all the ones that didn't get to be here. I'm sorry, but we'll do this again in the future. Okay, I'm just gonna pass this very fast. It's crazy, sir. We still have like 20 or 30 more comments here at least. So. Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your time. If you want to say something just to close, please.
Thank you, you guys. And it's a pleasure to be able to know so many people around the world. My gosh, it's enriched our lives, and I've learned so much from all of you. And I just want continued success for all of your efforts. Okay. And Frank has done an incredible job with this show.
Thank you, sir.
One of the things that have come on that has become non-political, but just from the heart, and allows each individual that he interviews to be themselves. And that's a gift that Frank has too, among many others. Okay, so we'll do it again.
Great, amazing. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll do this again in the future, not too far away. We'll set up a date and we'll bring back Mr. and Grandmaster Larry Tatum. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. You guys have a great day. Take